Oh man, this is the lesson you're probably waiting for. This is the lesson that I'm super excited for because we're now going to turn our not so good looking website into something that looks a whole lot better. In fact, it's probably going to look so good that once we're done with this lesson, you're going to send the link to a friend or family member to check out and to, pat yourself on the back a little bit because it's going to look pretty good. So, let's get started. Let's dive in. But a quick heads up, if you are watching this on YouTube, as always, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And then don't forget to hit the link that's sliding above at the top right of this video right now and head over to lawventure.com and watch this particular video within the lesson that is within the course involving how to build your law firm's website and how to get it up and running super quickly. And the reason why you want to go check it out and watch it on LawVenture within the particular lesson is because as we go through this video, you're going to notice that I'm referring to links and I'm referring to tips and tricks that are below this video within the body of the lesson. Only way you're going to be able to get that information and that extra content is to head over to the lesson and check it out down below. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the meat of this lesson. Okay, so we are currently inside TexasClassActionLawyer.com, our new favorite website of all time. But at this point, if we go over to visit site, you can see, like I was just talking about, we have a very ugly website. This isn't going to do us much good. So let's change that. And in order to change it, I do recommend that you go below this video within the lesson and you check out the link that looks a little bit like this. This link that you're seeing below the video that I'm showing right here is what we'll use in order to build our website. And so I recommend that you click the Click to Get Here Thrive Suite button. And once you do, you'll see a page that looks like this. Granted, web pages are always being updated, so it may look a little bit different. But at this point, this is what the web page looks like. Scroll down, and to just get a little oriented here, a little bit of context, Thrive Suite gives you a whole bunch of powerful tools in order to give you an incredible website. Backstory is that the company that has created Thrive Suite is known as Thrive Themes. You can see the domain name up at the top that you're looking at right now. And what we'll do and use with Thrive Suite is once we get Thrive Suite, we'll get a whole lot of things that come with that. The first thing will be the Thrive Theme Builder. This is what we're going to be focusing on in this lesson. This is what's going to get our website up and running super quickly, looking great, and getting that optimized. We'll also get with Thrive Suite Thrive Architect. And Thrive Architect is the portion, I'll say the heavy lifter of the Thrive Suite package, to where that's what we'll be using in order to make changes to our website, to build things out, to maybe simplify. This is what's super important and super powerful as you try and customize your website for your needs. On the right here, we have Thrive Leads. This is also important because it allows you to convert traffic into a potential client. As we scroll down, we can now see Thrive Quiz Builder. This is, in my mind, super important, especially for us lawyers. And the reason for that is because I've converted this quiz builder to act as a sort of funnel with my law firm, to where when people go to my law firm's website, they have the option to basically figure out whether or not I can be of any help or service to them. So they click the link that takes them to the quiz builder, or the quiz that I built using Thrive Quiz Builder. And what that does is, based on their answers, it either funnels them one direction or another. For example, if they're trying to look for a real estate attorney, that's not me. And so when they go down the funnel, what ends up happening is they get a result of whether or not I can help. That is extremely beneficial, and it saves me a lot of money. And what I mean by that is, instead of me having to handle a whole bunch of phone calls where I tell people all day long that I can't take their case because maybe it's not a strong case, maybe it's the wrong area of law, instead I can save my own time, sanity, and put my energy towards more important things by instituting this filtering process through Thrive Quiz Builder. Now, every now and then I'm taking a call to where I have to break it to the potential client that I don't handle that area of law, or that case isn't something that I can take. But it is a whole lot easier whenever you have this type of filtering process going on, because you'll be surprised, even though you may put on there, I don't handle medical malpractice, how many times people will call and say, look, I saw on your website that you said you don't handle medical malpractice, but my case is a little different. And they try and explain why. So you're nice, you're attentive, you listen to all of it, and you realize, yeah, you're just not going to take the case. And 45 minutes have gone by when maybe you could have addressed why you don't accept that particular case using this Thrive Quiz Builder. That's a huge rant, and that's something that we're going to expand on in another lesson, but this is super important. I don't want you to overlook this. Now, Thrive Apprentice is your ability to be able to create an online course on your website. For example, the online course that you're on right now within LawVenture was not only built with all of these aspects and services, but you're specifically on Thrive Apprentice right now. And so if you, with your website and your law firm's website, if you want to create this kind of hub for maybe free legal information or legal information that people have to pay for, then you can always use Thrive Apprentice. And whether or not you want to use it, that's your call, but it comes with Thrive Suite. It's built in. Thrive Comments is pretty cool because it allows you to be interactive with the people who are going to your website. Maybe you are posting a whole bunch of blog content. Maybe you're posting videos and you're sending maybe Facebook traffic to your website to see a blog post. If there are any questions that pop up, or if there are any statements, or maybe there's a lot of positive feedback, you want to be able to respond to those people, develop a connection, because if you develop a connection, they're most likely going to remember you if they potentially need a lawyer down the road. So there are other things that we can definitely spend time talking about. I recommend checking out this entire page, and then once you're ready, be sure to click on Get Thrive Suite and go through the process to make sure you get it. And once you do, I'll see you on the other side. And once you are on the other side, meaning you've become a member, then there are some perks and benefits that should hopefully maybe put your mind at ease, or if anything, make you excited. What I mean by this is, as a member, you can have additional information, additional content, additional ways to take your law firm's website to the next level beyond what is not only provided on LawVenture, but you can actually go to this university tab up here. Notice I'm on the thrivethemes.com homepage. And once we click university, you can see all the free and premium courses provided by Thrive Themes. Keeping in mind, in order to be able to see all this information, you need to be part of the community. You need to have Thrive Suite. And so what we can do here, a lot like on LawVenture, is we can filter and figure out what we want to do, what we want to learn. And for example, in this situation, we could filter by build a website. And they have, as you can see, many different resources and content focused on building a website. And I recommend, if there are any gaps in this lesson, not only do you need to let me know in the comment section down below, I'll be happy to answer them, but you can maybe fill in any gaps, or you can potentially grow onto this current content that you're watching right now by checking out this content, these online courses provided by Thrive Themes. And just a quick heads up, if you're on Facebook, then now that you are a member, you may want to go ahead and join the Thrive Themes official user group right here. As you can see, there are just under 5,000 members at this point. This number continues to grow, and it's a very active community. And so if you're wanting to learn more about not only optimizing your law firm's website, but maybe get inspiration from different other websites, then this is a great resource as well. Okay, enough orientation. And I don't know if you can tell, my computer is huffing and puffing over here. I'll go silent real quick. Yeah, that's the fan. It's there's a lot going on right now. But what's going on in this particular lesson is we need to head back over to thrivethemes.com and click on Member Dashboard. And that way we can see our products. And to make things a little bit easier, I'll go ahead and throw a link down in the body of this lesson so you can head over to this page pretty easily. Now, what we want to do is follow this 1, 2, 3 step process. And the first step is obviously to download and install the Thrive Product Manager plugin. And that requires you to simply click right here. So go ahead and save. And just a quick heads up, whenever you are saving the zip file, be sure to keep it as a zip file because that's what we're going to use in order to upload it onto our website. Okay, so we are back inside the dummy website, texasclassactionlawyer.com. And at this point, since we're all set up on the back end of making sure that we're a member of Thrive Suite, what we need to do is simply click Plugins, Add New. And then we need to go to the top and click Upload Plugin. Then as you can see, if you have a plugin in a zip format, you may install or update it by uploading it here. So what I'm going to do is find what I just downloaded a second ago and drop it in here. Now that I dropped it in here, let's go ahead and click Install Now. Click Activate Plugin. Look at us. We now have Thrive Product Manager activated, and things are about to start getting fun. I can feel the excitement. Let's go ahead and go to Product Manager here on the left. Click that. Log into my account. And since I was already logged in on another tab, that was pretty instant. Didn't need to do anything at this point. So I'm going to exit out of here. Okay, so this is where you need to make a decision, but don't worry. If you need to come back and change your decision, you can always do that. So these are all the products that we were highlighting earlier, right? We were talking about Thrive Leads. We were talking about Thrive Apprentice, Thrive Architect, Thrive Comments, all these Thrive products that are all under the Thrive Suite umbrella. Figure out what exactly is going to be what you need in your situation and just be sure to install it. If things change, for example, at this point, if you don't know if you want an online course or to have the option for online courses, then you don't need to install it at this point in time. But if you need more information, you can obviously hover over this, figure out what it is, hop over to Thrive Themes, get more information on what each one of these exactly is. But my point here is if your website's growing or if you want to pivot and change your approach, you can always come back to Product Manager like we just did and then check the box at that point and then install it. For the purpose of this example, let's just go ahead and click a few of these to really flush out what we're doing here. I want to click on Thrive Architect, Thrive Comments, Thrive Quiz Builder, and that looks good right here. I don't know if we need anything else at this point just to get things up and running. We may come back in other lessons and maybe flush some of these other ones out. But for now, I'm going to click these three, check those boxes, and then also check this. This is important. Be sure to install Thrive Theme Builder themes. A lot of themes going on there, and then click Install. Okay, so I accidentally went to a different page after the success of everything being added to our WordPress site. I got so excited that I forgot to click the record button on the screen capture. But to orient you a little bit here, if we look at Product Manager, click this, it'll take you back to this page to where if you do want to eventually install these other benefits and perks, then feel free to do so. But as we can see here, what we initially wanted to be installed is now installed. And so at this point, let's take a look and see what our website's looking like. Well, look at this. We have a website that is looking a whole lot better, especially compared to what it was looking like earlier. And that was no bueno. So let's scroll and get a feel of what all's going on. And you may be getting a little bit of deja vu right now, and that's probably because if you hop over to LawVenture's homepage, there are some similarities because LawVenture uses the same theme and theme builder. So if we scroll down real quick with LawVenture, you can see there are obviously some changes here going on, but overall, if we hop back over to texasclassactionlawyer.com, it looks similar, right? This call to action right here. If we hop back over to LawVenture, you have a call to action right there. So we have something to work with here, right? So let's go ahead and go back to our dashboard. So let's go back to appearance. Let's go back to themes. We have this Thrive theme builder set up. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no interest in these themes because we'll never use them. So I'm going to go ahead and delete, and one more, delete. And the reason why I wanted to delete those is because at some point there will be an update for those themes, and I don't want to have to deal with updating themes I'm never going to use. So word to the wise, if you're not going to use it, just get rid of it. So if we go to Thrive Dashboard and we go to Thrive Theme Builder, we want to click that. Thrive Suite makes this extremely simple in order to tailor make your website. Is tailor make a phrase? I know tailor made is, but what's the more active tense of that? I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and click Get Started and go through this wizard in order to get our website up and running. And as you can see here, it says upload a logo for your site, recommended 250 pixels by 40 pixels. I already have a logo set ready to go. I will say that if you don't have a logo at this point, I'll see if I can provide some resources down below for you to be able to use and ultimately create your own logo. That way you can throw it up on your site. And once you do have your logo, just click right here. We want to upload files, so I'll go ahead and upload my file. Okay, so I've uploaded my logo, which I'm going to use this one right here. And in doing so, I guess I could add this information, for example, Stone Law Firm logo. In case somebody is Googling my logo, it may come up. I don't know. It's really not a big deal. So in either event, I'm going to click select. And boom, I have my logo ready to go. So time to go down here and choose and continue to number 2. Okay, so step 2 in this process is figuring out what the main brand color is going to be. Basically, whenever we're creating pages on our website, what Thrive Suite will automatically do through this shape shift theme is try and implement our brand colors. That way our website seems very cohesive. You know, if you go to one page that's orange and you go to another page that's purple, then it feels like you're at a completely different website, and that isn't a very good user experience. But with me, I personally am a sucker for blue, and this blue I really enjoy, and that's actually the blue that we use for Law Venture. But I took a different approach with my law firm's website page. If we take a look here, you can see that I have a deeper blue, and I'm not very technically savvy with the color scheme here, but I have this blue going on so it can match my suit that I'm wearing. And then I have the red as well. And the reason for that is I think the red pops pretty well with the blue. And then based off of this photo, I kind of had this gold mustard color going on with the couch. And so I try to bring in the blue throughout on the page, and then the gold stars hopefully are relatively similar to this couch right here, to where everything looks pretty cohesive overall. And so this is something to think about, right? You want to maybe figure out what kind of pictures you're working with and make it cohesive based on the pictures. For example, if I scroll up to the main About Me, I still have a deep blue right here that is pretty on par, pretty close to the blue that you can see right here. And as we scroll along, I'm pretty sure I have another photo that helps make it more cohesive. I have this photo, and then let me see. I have this photo as well. By the way, all these photos were taken on the same day, the same quote shoot that occurred. But my point here is, in order to make your pictures seem integrated with your website, then maybe figure out exactly what you want your pictures to look like first before you determine your color scheme. In our situation with this example, I want to say, let's go ahead and find a little bit of inspiration. So I recommend going to this web page. I think this website's called Visma.co. I don't know. I'll link it down below so you can check it out. And I was scrolling through these options here, and what they ended up providing is super helpful. They have the code so you can get the exact color, but it gives you a sense of what these pages look like. Anyways, looking at the color schemes on this web page, you can get a sense of maybe what's, what you want, what's going to be your brand. And so I actually have been gravitating right now to this number 19. And so what I'll do with this example situation is trying to implement this color scheme, and we'll see how it turns out. So as you can see here, I already went ahead and typed it right here. Now let's go ahead and try this out. Click apply. Now let's move on to choose and continue, number 3. Okay, so we have options here. We can choose what kind of logo we want, or what kind of header, we want. And part of that is looking at the logo, figuring out where we want it to sit. And as you can see, there are a lot of options here. So what I'm going to do in this situation is I want to have a website that does highlight the call to action, right? Something that's going to funnel somebody into my intake quiz. And to do that, let's do something like this. Okay, so I can already tell you based off of this color right here, I'm not a fan of that. So let's go back and pivot a little bit to where I'm going to actually change the color to this E98074. I'm not pivoting away yet from the overall aesthetic from that other website page, but whenever we were looking at the button earlier, I didn't really like how that looked. See, I like that a whole lot better. That stands out, and that's something that I think is important. And so let's keep with this. I like all of that. As you can see, we can try and figure out exactly which one we want and scroll through this way. And you can also see with my PNG file where the white ends and begins whenever it's a non-white background. Okay, so that's what we're working with here. I'm going to go ahead and click choose and continue. So this is the footer, and again, we can just scroll this way if we so choose. Let's look at our options here. Let me see. So a lot of law firm web pages end up going this route where you have their contact information and they can reach out that way. My goal is to always push the traffic to the quiz, which is going to ultimately funnel in determining whether or not I can actually help the person who's taking the quiz. And my point here is, if you have them immediately bypass the quiz by giving you a call, then what's the point of having the quiz, right? You know what? I think I liked this one the best. So let's do that. Okay. And let's go ahead and click choose and continue. Let's see what our options are here. Okay, so this is going to be our home page, and this is what we're looking at right now. And what's funny is that these pictures kind of already fit the color scheme that we were looking at earlier. Now, we can always change this layout by coming up here and looking at our options. And what's interesting with these options is you need to figure out what the feel of your website's going to be. It's very popular, especially with law firms, especially with any type of business where you're a solopreneur, so to speak, and you're the focus, is to have kind of this hero image right here. And in doing so, that makes you front and center, especially if they're going to be hiring you directly. Now, if you're a law firm with a whole bunch of other people and this is more of a company brand, then maybe starting with something a little bit more general is the way to go. With our situation, I'm just going to click this one right here. Let's get a feel for it. And you can see it's already implementing and adopting our color scheme. And we can always go back and make changes, because what I'm probably going to do is change this background to that tan color we were looking at earlier. So this works. I think we can work with this one. And so I plan on making changes here and there, but that'll get us started. So choose and continue. If you decide to make blog posts, what do you want your blog posts to look like? And again, you can go through these options to figure out what exactly the aesthetic and feel of your blog post is going to be. As you can see, you can choose to have sidebars. You can choose to have sidebars like this. I'm actually going to go with this approach right here. And the reasoning for that is, honestly, it's what I use on LawVenture, and I like it. And here you can see you have your featured image, front and center is nice and big. And then actually this is different from what I use on LawVenture, and I do like this. And you have the author right here, and then author down here. Yeah, you have a lot of stuff going on. This is great. So let's click choose and continue. The blog post list, and so this is basically whenever people go to your website /blog, this is the list of blog posts. If you have a list right now, we just have this one, dummy list or dummy blog showing up right now. But honestly, I like how this is already looking. So let's click choose and continue. Now we're talking about pages. Okay. Let's keep in mind that a blog post is something that is, I'll say, a branch of your website, to where it's very interactive with your website. As you saw earlier, you can go to the blog button, which it will show up here if you want it to, and then that will highlight all the blog posts that are available. A page is separate. A page can be completely separate from your website. For example, a lot of people, they go and download on LawVenture the objection cheat sheet, where you can get 21 trial objections, and that's probably not really relevant. But if you want the cheat sheet, go to lawventure.com, go to this home page, and then actually let's flesh this out and click free download. In doing so, this right here is a page. It's not a blog post, right? This is a very different feel from what we are looking at with those blog post templates. And so this is separate. This is something that you're not going to be able to really find unless I want you to find it within the website, such as a button that takes you to this particular page. So whenever you're deciding what you want your pages to look like in their default state, this is something to think about. Keeping in mind, you can always make changes at any point in time. Let's keep the default one. This is something we can always change and edit. I don't want too much going on with the pages, because if I am going to make an edit, I don't want to have to start deleting things. It's a whole lot easier if we start pretty basic. All right, so choose and continue. And for now, I'm going to click continue without choosing a menu. We'll work on this later. Okay, so wizard setup complete. We can preview the site. I'm going to right click and do open link in new tab. Let's take a look. Oh, hey, I have no idea who this person is, but you're looking good on my website, man. And as you can tell, we have this color scheme going on, and it's looking like a website. We're getting there, and that didn't take too long. And so in order to take the next step, let's go back over to this window. So I do recommend that you go down to this button, click learn what to do next, watch the video, learn some additional information, and then maybe come back to this video. In other words, pause this video, click this, watch it, soak up all the info, and then come back over. In the meantime, what we'll be doing on this end, once you do come back here, is click on branding, wait for it to load, go down to favicon, and then let's change it, because right now we don't really have anything that shows up in this little tab on the top of our browser. So let's change that. And I already uploaded it earlier. You may recognize it. I'm going to click select, and boom, there we have it. It was saved successfully. Come over to typography, and this is what's currently active. I don't know what the feel of font you want, and typically, in all honesty, if I wasn't talking to a whole bunch of lawyers right now, I would probably not even address this. I'd probably say, hey, you can click on typography and change it and move on. But after having a professor who was very particular with the fonts that were being used on briefs, I realized, yeah, some of y'all may be very particular with the fonts you have on a website. So once you do figure out what kind of font you want, feel free to change it however you want, to your heart's desire. And again, I recommend maybe checking out what other websites are using, similar to the color schemes that we were looking at earlier, and figure out which ones you want to implement. That way it's cohesive throughout your website. And in order to make those changes, just in case you are pretty picky, you want to come over here, click edit. And what you can do is, as you can see, this is your header H1 example. So you click on this, click over here where font is. You can choose between Google Fonts, WebSafe fonts, and inherent fonts. And then once you do that, type in your font right here. Again, make sure that you're finding a font that exists on Google Fonts. And if that works for you, click apply, but I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because I'm good with this font for now. You can always come back and change it. So what you need to do if you do make any changes is click save work. All changes saved, and then you can get out of the screen by doing save and preview. And then you can see how everything looks. Exit out of that tab, go back to the original tab, and move on. Time to check out templates. Everything looks good here for me. If you want to add any other templates, you can always come up here and click add new. Now next up is coming over to site speed, clicking that. Let's get started with minification and caching. And we can come down and choose one of these options. I'm going to choose WordPress fastest cache. Activate it. Okay, so this is going to help keep our website nice and fast for loading times. Now let's head over to image optimization. Scroll down. I just go ahead and choose this because it's recommended by Thrive Suite. And then once you've gone through the registration process for image optimization, I'll spare you all the steps on that one because that one's pretty straightforward. Head over to accelerated mobile pages, which is what I have up right now. This is new, and so I'm kind of testing it out as well. So in order to test it out and be that guinea pig, I just went ahead and selected it, and you figure out exactly which ones you want to apply. I'm just going to go ahead and choose post since that's the default setting and be done with that. So that has officially taken us through the entire setup process. Not only do we have a homepage that looks fairly decent, but we also have a brand color established, we have a font established, and we've done some optimization for our website. That way it's primed for some traffic to start rolling in. So let's take another look at everything and see how it looks. Okay, so this is our website, and as we scroll through, it's looking pretty good. Wait, this brown is not looking good. Now that I think about it, I don't know if black is going to look great with the color scheme we have going here. So maybe I change this to gray. I don't know. But if we head back to our website, I can tell you this much. This looks a whole lot better than what it looked like once this lesson was beginning. I don't know if you lost faith as you were going through these lessons, but we're here to where we're actually getting closer and closer to our viable website. And I do want to make a point that this guy is going to have to be the face of your law firm's website from this point forward. There's no changing this. And so you're stuck with him, which is a good thing. He's a good looking guy. And so what we're going to do is just basically edit everything around him. I'm kidding. I don't know if that got anybody, but we're going to make these changes and I'll show you exactly how to do that in the next lesson. I'm super excited about it because this is where you can make everything optimized for your situation, for your law firm. And that way you're super happy with your upcoming amazing law firm website. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next lesson.